Tonight, keep an eye on these rookies. Miami's Tyler Hero scored 29 Tuesday night in a win over the Hawks, the most by a Heat rookie since D-Wade 15 years ago. Wow. Tonight in Atlanta, Heat and Hawks again, and you'll get a look at the number 4 pick in the draft, the Hawks' DeAndre Hunter. A trick-or-treat double dip coming your way on TNT. The Heat and the Hawks, and then the Nuggets and Pelicans, as we welcome you to a very spooky Studio J. Boy, look at that phony thunder and lightning. That guy the guy who had the last.
We don't even have to fake it in here. You just walk outside.
Yeah, and look at the pumpkins down there in front of the set. Personalized pumpkins. Those are very impressive.
That's
very impressive.
Yeah. Ooh, I thought that was Kawhi Leonard.
Yes. No, he's load manager.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's like
spooky.
me.
That's very spooky. Anyway, welcome everybody. Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith. Hope to have the big fella back with us next week. Yes. Shaquille O'Neal making his return. So you said last week when we were on the road, you said Tyler Hero. He's the guy you really want to watch with Miami.
Well, he's my pick for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's easy, presented by Auto Trader. He's made it look easy.
Listen, he got what we call swag. He has tremendous confidence. Ernie, I saw him play at Auburn last year. And I did something I never did before.
Or Kentucky.
Kentucky. No, I'm talking about they played at Auburn.
Yeah.
I went on the bus and I asked Calipari, and I talked to that kid for a second. He's one of the best college players I've seen last year. I saw him in person. He came down to Auburn. He made 3 of the last.
You didn't see Zion play last year?
No, I'm talking about in person.
Oh, okay.
I did not see Zion play in person.
Just saying, you say.
No, but I'm talking about he came down to Auburn. Auburn, we had a terrific team, Final Four. But this kid made 3 of the greatest plays down the stretch. And I said, man, you got a terrific creature. Keep working hard on your game. I had never did that before to a young college kid, because I got to stay out of their way.
Yeah, averaging 16 points a game, shooting 46%, 7 out of 19 from 3. Another guy, Kendrick Nunn, who's an undrafted rookie, has been great. And he's been in there with Jimmy Butler just now returning from paternity leave. So, yeah, they've gotten some good minutes.
Bring a game.
Yeah, bring a game. On paternity leave. Haven't had a chance to yell at him yet. That's why he's playing well.
Yeah, Nunn. Yeah. He's another one you watch. A hard nails type of guy. You know, he brings his game, not his name. Understands. I think he understands at such a young age what he's good at. Like, he gets in the areas of the floor where you say, oh, he's going to make that. Yeah. Like, oh, he's going to make that. Oh, typically, you don't see that until about the 3rd year in the NBA. Guys understand where they are and what they're really good at.
But that really just speaks to the Miami Heat, though.
Yeah.
Because, Kenny knows this. A lot of players go to bad organizations, get bad habits, learn bad habits from players and coaches. You go to the Miami Heat, number one, you're going to be in shape. And they're going to hold you accountable. So this is a good situation for an undrafted player.
When Nunn was at Oakland University, he was the 2nd leading scorer in the country behind Trae Young, and we won't see Trae Young tonight, unfortunately, because of the ankle injury, but a great start for him. Had a 38-point game, had a 39-point game for Atlanta.
Yeah, he's showing that what he did in college or the way he scored in college, he can do it at the professional level. A lot of times that doesn't translate because the athletes are bigger, stronger, faster, and they're smarter. So you're playing against better players. But he's showing that, no, the areas of the floor where I get buckets, I'm going to be able to do it against anyone and the best players in the world. And now you're going to have to look at me and say, am I going to be an NBA All-Star? Yeah. He's working towards that thing and trying to get the Atlanta Hawks, which in the Eastern Conference, Chuck, they could play around and get in there and be a playoff team possibly.
I have told you, you got the 76ers, you got Milwaukee,
and the Raptors.
The Raptors. And the Celtics. You got 4 teams that are going to be.
And then everybody else is up.
And everybody else just a bunch of ugly girls looking for a date.
Hey, I need to get you guys to weigh in on the fight last night.
You never said that.
The fight in Philly last night.
That was not a fight, Ernie. That's not a fight.
A skirmish.
Oh, look at Ernie. There's no punches.
There's no punches.
Ernie.
Joel Embiid and
because if you really wanted to get a guy, you would have been. Sweating.
And both of those guys have been suspended 2 games. Ben Simmons. Received no punishment, although he did have Kat tap out right there with the chokehold.
Make my man John Cena proud with that chokehold.
And part of this discipline for those 2 guys, not just what happened on the floor, but kind of continuing it off the floor after the game. Joel Embiid, look, I was raised around Lions, and a Kat pulled on me tonight. He brings Jimmy Butler into it. Butler's played with him and Kat both. And then Karl Anthony Towns responded to that. I ain't
these
raised
guys,
around Lions.
Something.
Yeah.
These guys are lovers. They're not fighters.
But it was interesting. Jimmy Butler's in town.
You left them in the gym all night by themselves when nothing be happening in the morning but sleep.
Jimmy Butler's in town, and so Kristen Ledlow asked him about being pulled into the thing from last night.
I knew somehow, some way, I was gonna get drugged into the Clash of the Titans, whatever you want to call it. I like it though. I'm one for I do what you got to do. It's just funny because as soon as I saw it, I was like, here we go. My name's getting thrown into it. And Joe is my guy. I knew he would be the one to throw me into it out of all people though.
So if it wasn't a fight, how would you characterize what went down in Philadelphia?
A snuggle party. They were two guys holding each other.
Hey, you had two good ones tonight in 5 minutes.
You had two. There was no punches thrown. How can you call some of fighters that have no punches thrown?
Oh, man. This dude said it was a snuggle party.
That's the first I've ever heard that.
No, the reason what made me laugh even more.
Look at here, Ernie. Look at here. Look,
hey, you want to snuggle?
Look at that. Where's the punch? Where's the punch? Yeah. Look at Ernie. Come on, man.
I said this earlier. Like, back in the 90s, that would have been a time where they would have been like, okay, get those guys on the bench, calm them down, and let's get ready to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a snuggle party, I'm thinking of that snuggle blanket. That's what it is.
The snuggly.
So they all, like, I can imagine both of them.
Look at that. He threw more punches in that little flurry right
Alex,
there.
we get both of them inside a snuggle blanket.
Come on, man. These guys are lovers. Stop it. We don't need these guys fighting though, because somebody can get hurt.
They're not fighting. We don't need these guys snuggling.
We don't need these guys snuggling.
Somebody could actually get hurt if they were actually fighting.
Heat and Hawks coming up in just a bit. Back with more in just a minute.
That's snuggle party.
Oh man, that's not a fight.
Oh.